What it is, mi gente? It's your girl Nina Montañez.
And it's your girl Paula WJ here.
And you're tuning into Brown and Urban.
Life BC.
All right. Wow, look at us. We didn't do our hands.
Oh, we did it!
I was like, my hands kind of like.
I did do this though, but I didn't do this.
You know what?
I did this, but I didn't do this.
Yo, that's madly furious.
Well, wait, we're doing something special because basically we've decided, not randomly, but kind of, that we were going to be doing a live. Yes. So not only are we doing this pre-recorded, but we also have our live folks here. So hello to the people on live.
Hey y'all.
Hey, we don't know if we'll do the. Oh, look at the balloons. Yeah. Did we do that? We did that.
I think we did.
We did that. How did we do that?
Oh! I feel like, is that not? That's not funny. I shouldn't be this nice. That was dumb.
There was a lot of excitement.
It was.
Because I think I have mine turned off on my phone. And so, like, I've been doing all the things and it just never happens. But either way,
thank you.
For those who are on live, thanks for joining. And we know that it was random for you all on your half. But on
Can you schedule it?
You can.
And be like, hey, this is because TikTok, you could do that. Like, this is an event on this day. I'm going live.
Yeah, you can. So this was kind of like
for the moment.
For the moment. But for those who join, what it is. What's that? We take 2 there thumbs. All right.
Oh wow, that's mad funny. We did that another time. I forget what you went into. See, not because now I feel like it was one of the videos in it. Also, I like.
Wait, all right.
I started editing 9, which is in the pad.
Okay. Sorry, honestly, not too much that hoodie in it. That's a great hoodie.
What hoodie did I wear?
My hoodie. No, I wore my hoodie.
Oh, I was like, I didn't wear your hoodie.
What? Amount of confusion. Oh, that like I messed it up.
The confusion that's out. I didn't wear your hoodie. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, the green and black one.
The
face slides. Yes, it's like the yeah, a spy hoodie. What did I wear? Oh, I wore brown. Yeah, my cargo pants. You know, like sometimes you be looking at an outfit and I'm like, this is why learning to do different hairstyles really matters because it can really like make or break an outfit. So I've been looking at some of my outfits and I'm like, I could have definitely worn my hair up for that. Or I could have worn my hair down for that. You work that up, dude, girl. It'll back of your head look ridiculous.
But yes. So like for the people on live, like you're getting to see this is like an actual thing. Like what we have you in the videos.
If this thing don't make the cut, you might no clip.
Yeah.
It might. It's a hook you.
It might could.
It might will.
It might.
Oh, we are so corny.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. I love it so much.
What was I saying? What is life? What is life? What is love? Baby, you'll hurt me.
How many times can we break into song this season?
A lot, because my mind only thinks in songs.
Yo, facts. I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder. Anyways.
Not the buttons.
Not the gumdrop buttons. Like do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. Yes. Who lives on Drury Lane? Well, she's married to the Muffin Man. Shrek had no business being that funny.
For sure. I'll never forget. I was in like 3rd grade or 4th, whatever grade we were in. It came out. We watched it and it had one swear in it. It was like what beavers make. And
yeah.
It was when they were like crossing through the maze or like the cornfield. And everybody was like, don't tell the teacher because the teacher had just stepped out. And you know, that one snitch was like, there was one swear. I'm like, yo,
dang, bro.
Can't even have nothing.
It's such a hurt, dog. I was like, that would get me tight. No, today I was not even in a meeting. It was like an impromptu, just like meetup at work. And someone referenced Shrek. I said, yo, you guys know what's crazy? Is that Shrek and Fiona chose to be ogres over being white.
poison was not what I thought was coming in her mouth.
And the way everybody was like,
Okay.
yo, you know what?
You know
What? Like, it was giving it, the conversation sounded like high thoughts.
But this was you being dead.
And this was dead. I was desperate. I saw it on Facebook. I saw that post and I was like, that's mad funny. And I saw that like 3 days ago. So why it resurfaced and I stored that, but I almost forgot my social when I was doing my taxes was crazy to me. Yo, it took me all of 3 minutes to remember my social, but I had a Facebook quote and
you
Arsenal.
know what was there? Facebook quote. Yeah, I love that. Love that. You know what else was there? A treasure trove of Shrek quotes. Front and center.
Ready to go.
Things that you need to survive.
Ready to go.
Who knows? It's never
Terrible.
Well, for our rewarding.
Anyways, moving on.
Yes. Well, we'll probably circle back to that.
You read that 1000%. I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Yeah, totally fine.
I'll link a scripture to it. I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, today's episode is gonna be about do we think it's gonna be more so about like the maturing of starting to hate and dislike sin because of the way that not only it affects us, but knowing that it hurts God so much. I think we have a level of maturing and understanding that. Or do we want to stick to more of like the, top level, like let's just talk about like what is sin and like
Apparently they coincide. Both happen. Just because for someone who's tuning in for the first time, that might not be a believer. What is this sin you guys keep talking about? I've just been told that I can't twerk and smoke weed, but I feel like I should be able to. So yeah, let's explain to you why. But honestly, though, it's literally that video that you sent me earlier where that guy was like, "Oh, sin feels like freedom until you try to stop, and then it's right when you try to stop." And now it feels like bondage because you're like, wait, I want to stop this, but I can't.
And I feel bad because I want to stop it, but I can't stop it. And now you have the choice to make.
Yeah, and that's like, okay, well, the choice that I do, if I go with this one, now I feel like crap. But then if I go with this one, I feel like crap because this is what I want to be doing. And then it feels like I end the cycle until I break it.
Back until you break it. Because I feel like once it is broken, it feels renewed. Like it feels peaceful and it feels much happier. Even it still sucks. Like you ever be able to see a situation you go like, I shouldn't be this happy. This still sucks. But
me right now, the season I'm in, this sucks and here is holy.
Yeah.
Why? Because God's let me. You understand? But like,
I feel that.
It took a while to get here. Like this thought process didn't come overnight. It didn't just happen. And like I'm going on year 3 of being saved and being on this walk. And it took 3 years to get here. 'Cause before I was like, oh, kiss sucks. I don't get it. But I think honestly, I want to attribute that to the teachings that I'm getting and the people that, like, even though I'm a digital disciple, but I'm being discipled nonetheless. And if I was only ever receiving prosperity gospel, then this would feel like, woe is me, I am a victim. Why have you forsaken me, God? But because that is not the teachings that I'm getting, and the people that I am listening, the Jackie Hill Perrys, the Megan Ashleys, the Philip Anthony Mitchells, the Preston Perrys, the Preston Morrison, Tim Ross, the reason, like, listening to them and being able to digest what it is that they're saying, it's this and. It's not this but or this or, it's this and. You have Christ and there's going to be suffering. As opposed to if I was like, you have Christ and he's going to do it for you and you're going to this and you're, and it's now I'm sitting here like, wait, but Pastor said that X, Y, and Z. So like I think that I'm very grateful to the podcasts that I am listening to, the sermons that I am ingesting and things like that, because this season, if it was not for that, then this season would feel a lot more grandiose than it actually is.
I get that. I think too, like before we did all of this and set up the cams and whatever. Like we're just like literally eating and chatting, which is one of my but but no, you were legit just talking about how I've been reading Numbers, but I read Exodus, read Leviticus, and Numbers, and how like there's these different types of offerings that are talked about, right? And there's a trespass offering, there's the sin offering, there's a peace offering, but like some of these offerings, right, that had to happen were based off of whether you've done a trespass on accident or on purpose, right? So like you may be doing a sin that's on purpose. Like, for example, I know I shouldn't drink. I know, like, this is an example, this hasn't happened, but I'm just saying, I know I shouldn't be drinking and going partying because that's what I deal with. But I still am gonna do it, right? So I'm knowingly doing something I know I personally shouldn't do. I ain't talking about what everybody else should do, but yeah, I'm doing something I know I shouldn't do. So I'm doing this sin on purpose. But then there's like the accidental sins, right? Which is you may not be intentionally hurting somebody's feelings or intentionally pushing somebody away from the church, right? Yeah. But like because of your action, you've done something that does have an effect, and so you would do an offering. Yeah. But one offering that was always consistent. It didn't matter if you did it on purpose or not. You had to do a burnt offering. Why? Because sin is sin. We all do it. We are born into sin, and just that automatically makes us sinners. Yeah. And it didn't matter. Like you could have literally stayed in your bed all day and not talk to the world. You still gotta do that offer. Because that's just what it is. Yeah. So I think when I think about that back in the olden days, right? Like those ancient days. Did you send me that voice too? Wow, it's like a burnt offering. So I be in it.
Because and what did I sent you something which sparked that, and you were like, "Girl, right?" Because when I was reading in this, and you know what that was, to have to be giving a burnt offering twice at every single day, twice a day for existing,
and you had to be clean when you did it. Like you had to be pure. You could.
I know, Trevor. What little did I?
You get the evidence.
I had to be.
You can't.
I can't. Hey y'all. I can't. Anyway, sorry. Continue. I'm gonna figure it out.
But I think I was just when I was thinking about all of those different things about although the steps, right? We may not have to do it because our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ did that for us. That doesn't make us any less sinners.
Yeah.
And I think that once we come to that knowing and understanding that like what happened with Adam and Eve set the precedence for all humans, right? And now we are born as men.
Yeah.
I think what it naturally shifts my perspective to know I gotta be thankful and grateful that God is so merciful and God is every single day and moment. And then when I think about that, I'm like, dang, sin really ain't like I'd already knew sin wasn't a joke. Yeah. Right? We know this, right? But there's a difference between knowing and rocking with it because everybody's telling you like sin's bad.
Right.
But when you start to really like sit in it, you start to feel that I can't believe you could ever choose sin over God. Yo, I can't believe it. Like, I never felt good sinning. Like, you feel good in the beginning until, like, you really can't get out of it. And you're like, I really... Now I'm only reaching out to God because I really need it. But I chose this over back to back to back to back. And now when it's, like, killing me, because it always was killing me.
Yeah.
But now the devil just don't care to show you that it's killing.
There's a different level of heightened awareness.
Right.
You're like, ooh, this actually killing.
And now I'm like, God, take it away from me. And him being gracious, right? He made us, right? Not without some work, but like he made us, right? Because he loves you that much. But it's like crazy to me how that's what we do. Especially here in America. We just be like, Lord, I sin so much. I'm so sorry I sinned. Take it from me. Sky Daddy, please. And then like, but then like really haven't learned our lesson because do you hate sin that much? Do you hate it? Because if you hated it, you probably wouldn't go for it so much. So that it's to the point where it's like, if we're already born in sin and we're going to always be sinners naturally, we should be at least minimizing the amount of trespasses that we are doing and the amount of sin that we are doing intentionally. You don't do that.
You don't. Like, can you imagine that? Like, you already got this is your level. This is your base level. You already here. And you keep adding more. That's crazy. I'm like, yo, dang, Lord, I'm so sorry. No, and like, we were talking earlier when you came to that realization, like, Paula's there at that realization, and I'm like just getting through the wall of it. And I think where I'm struggling to kind of like burst through that, like, I don't like sin, and I realize that watching others sin makes me feel icky for them. And I'm like, and now I'm like, you don't feel that? Clearly you don't, because you're doing it, but believe me, I just, you don't, that doesn't bother you. Like, and there's and I think that in this season right now, like, it does suck because I am feeling more than I have in a while. And it was just a reminder that for the longest time, I was like numb. I became so numb. And I don't remember. I become so numb and I can't feel you. I'm gonna be real. I'm so sorry. My bad. R.I.P. to the lead singer of Linkin Park. Dang, bro. But, and I don't remember. I had said this before. I don't remember if it was where I said this, why I was saying it. But for such a long time, I was like super just like kind of turned off to other people's emotions. And I used to say all of the time, oh, I'm not empathetic. Like, I don't know why you crying. I never understood it. But when I came to Christ, and one of the things that he showed me was that I was numb and that I was shut off to a lot of things. So much so that now I cry all of the time. Yeah. All of that. I'm over it. Why am I praying? And even if I do, and then there's it, like I was just saying, like this week, I want to cry, but I'm like, what am I crying for? What am I crying about? To the point where I was like, this is morbid, but I just looked at my cat and I was like, you're not going to be here one day. And that was enough to get the waterworks fully going. But that was just like, I feel like it was God reminding me, like, hey, remember when you couldn't do this at all? And I'm like, you're right. I don't really want to do it all the time. But I appreciated it. And I think that was like entry level 1. And now it's becoming amplified. And I don't feel on the level of like, when you hear like Philip Anthony Mitchell and he's like, I was weeping for hours on my face and on the floor in my prayer closet. I'm not there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like, dang, if I feel like this and I feel like it's this big, I can't even imagine like what it is for him. And I feel like that is where the Lord is trying to take me. And I'm like fighting it. And I think that the reason he's putting me in this season is so that I have to lean on him more. Like I've been in my Bible more than I have it in a minute. Like I'll do like the 10 minutes or like the Bible app, let me get my streak of the day. But also like I've been spending more time in prayer, and I actually heard somebody say, if you pray more than you're in your word, you're in error. And I was like, oh, reason being, they went out to explain. Who was it? Doesn't matter. I always want to like give credit where credit is due. Tiffany Montgomery. Cool. And she was on the We Need to Talk podcast. Yes, that's where it was. And so she went on to explain, she's like, because if you are praying more than you're in your word, you're in error, because how do you know what to pray for if you're not in scripture? How do you know what you're praying for is in God's will if you're not in your word? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in error. Because first the hump was like, me getting over the hump was, let me pray more. Because I'm not praying about everything the way that I should be praying. Because sometimes like, do I have to pray for that? I just don't know what I want to wear today. Do I need to pray about that? And I'm like, and let's make it that mundane, right? But like to God, it's like, nah, like invite me into every aspect of your life. And sometimes you're like, but you got other things to worry about. My outfit of the day is definitely not one of them. Like, don't let it be one of them. Like, everything's fine. Do I want to wear my bottom retainers tonight? I don't know that I have to pray about that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like things like that. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I am in error. And so, making it a point, like even when I'm at work or even if it's just playing the Bible app and I'm just like getting in something, I'm like, Lord, because now it's the point where like it almost feels, and I don't know that it is, I almost feel sinful to not be in my word.
The gift, because like, how do you know the Lord's word? How do you know He's speaking to you?
If I don't know the word, how do I know His voice? If you send me a text, you don't have to send me a voice note. I'm gonna read that text in your voice. How do I know God's voice if I'm not reading His text? That was good. That was really good. I felt how I felt that was good.
It's the pointing of the sword. That sword.
You understand? Oh, yes. Jesus.
I mean, that's good. That's so good. you know, and that's so good.
That's so good.
Mm-hmm. No, but like it's true though, right? Like I think that there's this understanding that, how do I say this? Because I think a lot of people, myself included, at a certain point, and I think sometimes still, like it comes up where like I'm just like, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted.
Bruh.
Like, I'm just gonna pray. I'll read the word, but like, and I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm reading it, and that's good. Like, I still think like getting the word in,
Yeah, it
is good. But like, I think that there was like a point in time where I just was like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna do this and do that. But like, the benefit of actually studying the word is, to your point, like you get a glimpse of even like how God feels. Like even in certain books, right? Like He may not be as like directly implanted into like the actual literal words that you're seeing. And when you
Ecclesiastes 7, because they're like, who wrote it? But the author is talking about a person, so they're like narrating a story, and I'm like, who's talking? I had to Google it. At the time out. Who is talking in Ecclesiastes? I'm lost.
There's a lot of stories within so
help. No, literally, send help.
Send help.
Lord, fix it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like even when God is not like you know, like when you're reading like Genesis, or when you're reading like Leviticus or things like that, it's like God said this. So you get that. But then there are certain books where like I'm thinking like the book of Ruth. Thinking of another one, like where like God may not be the pillar of smoke, you know, but like He is there.
Yeah.
When you study the actual like verses, and you get to see, I think, more of God's nature.
Yeah.
When you're like, wow, like you could read like a Jeremiah or Daniel or Nehemiah or like you could like, and you know what I mean, you could see, and you're like, some of these prophets were like angry, or some of them were like nicer, or this and that. But in reality, like, do you see how God literally was like, I'm sending you signs because I want you all to fix yourselves so that you can get back to the steps that I've already outlined for you in the first 5 books. I took detail and intention getting all of this stuff written down so that you could remember how to do burnt offerings, how to do all these things to save you, and you all won't turn back. And because of that, because He's such a loving Father, there are things that have to happen, just like any parent. And I'm not a parent, but like I have dogs. I have dogs. So I understand, like sometimes with a dog, like you kind of have to give them like, there's a lesson of, if you keep doing this, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because if you don't learn from this, you're just going to keep doing it. And I'm imagining people who have real children, right, that you birthed out of your own canals, right? Like I'm sure you're literally like, at some points you just kind of have to be like, okay, I can't force you to do a thing. I could, but we both know how that is.
Yeah, you know.
But like to your earlier point is just like, if you don't pick up your word to actually read and study the word, how do you know when God's really actually talking to you?
Yeah.
How do you know that you're discerning His voice clearly and effectively?
Yeah.
If you not seeing the top of your word, and then praying, and then fasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then getting discipled.
The Lord got me out every day this week at 3 a.m. I'm like, it's 2:58. It's not 3 o'clock. I'm going back to sleep. No, yo, bro, literally. And I'm like, there was one day, what was it? Was it Tuesday morning? And it's not that I hadn't been praying. And I'm like, clearly you're trying to tell me something and I don't know what it is. So I woke up right item it was 3:07. I looked at and I clicked on my phone and I said, all right. And I had to like physically get up out of my bed and just started praying. And I was like, Lord, I don't know who, what, when, where, and why. No, I know the why. I don't know anything else. Cool. What I'm just gonna start praying and you're just gonna fill in the gaps. And if it's a person, if it's a place, it's a thing, we're just gonna keep going. And by the time I finished, it was 4 o'clock. And I was like, oh,
Look at you, a little spiritual stamina.
is this a new level that has been unlocked? I was like, both mortified and hyped at the same time. I was like, yeah, am I an intercessor? I didn't sign up for that. Take it off the pack. That's not the package I got. That's not the package.
He's like, too late. You've already accepted the terms.
Literally, he's like, see, this is why you're supposed to read the fine print. That's why you don't skim, Apple. That's why you don't be skimming, because you don't know what you be signing away. I was like, dang. Don't do that again, though. Lo and behold, the next night, like, yo,
That's cute.
I'm like, nah, because it was like 4:30, and I was like, is that the time? Is there like a between period? It's not. 3 o'clock. It wasn't 3, so I'm going back to sleep. And I went back to sleep calmly. I said, it is not within the hour of 3 o'clock. I shall be going back to sleep, sir.
You know, what's funny about that? I feel like recently, I feel like now that I'm about to say it, it's about to mess you up. But I'm starting, I don't know yet, but like, yo, I'm starting to think that if you get woken up, period. But okay, maybe that's not true because like technically you could get woken
I'd be happy to pee though.
Yeah, like I think outside of bodily, like yeah, outside of bodily,
I would say use the bathroom.
yeah. But I think sometimes like I'll wake up and I'll just be like, and then the first thing I want to do is pray. But then I'll like my flesh will look at the time and be like, oh, that ain't it, and go back to sleep. But I'm like, but if my first thought is to immediately pray
And do it.
then you do it. You know what I mean? Regardless of the time.
And my first thought is always, what time is it?
Yeah, I think that's up. Also while you were talking, I think I had like, I don't know. This is I'm not gonna call it a revelation. I don't know that yet. I think that would be unfair to call it that. But you know how I've been telling you, like I've been like this, like I'm like I need to get back to sleep. I need to get my sleep schedule back.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's crazy is I haven't been waking up at 3 a.m. And at first I'm just like, that's great because I've been going to bed at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So that would suck if I up at 3 a.m. But I'm like, but not gonna lie, at 3 a.m. when I did get woken up, that's when I did my best intercessor. And now I'm not that, and I'm like, you gotta work on that,
Man,
you gotta work on that.
listen, I had somebody, which is crazy. I had someone hit me up and was like, hey, I've asked for a favor. And I was like, yeah, sure. What's up? Can you pray for my mom? I said, wait, what? I said, hold on.
That's the level I'm.
I only met you one time. So you hitting my line, asking me to pray. I was like,
Nina.
God. Okay. Because you know how they also say, like, you watch who you have pray for you? Like, there should be a level of discernment within that, right? Granted, like, that person was right in coming to me because, like, I was on my face praying for this person's mom. Like, literally, like, yo, God, like, declaring it and I was like, yo, where is this coming from? Like, this energy, like, this that came. I was like, Jesus, oh my God, where's this coming from? So much so that once I finished, I think that was like 15, 20 minutes of just straight prayer. And I'm sitting at work, I'm sitting in my office, and I was listening to worship music, and I was listening to I always forget the name of the group, but it's that song that went like super viral on TikTok, and it's the so don't give up on me yet. I know I'm not your best bet, but I'm trying. So that song. So and I've heard the song on TikTok, but like I never like played it from start to finish. It came on a playlist. And I'm like at work, and like as I was like doing stuff, I like stopped. Like audibly was like stop. And I'm like, yeah, nah, because I got ADHD, so I gotta finish this. And if I don't finish it, like, it's not gonna get done. What are we talking about? Stop. Okay.
Stop.
Literally, okay. So I just pushed back from my desk, and I tilted my head back. I just sat back in my chair and just started sobbing. And I was like, okay, Holy Spirit, I know you're here, because this happens this fast when your presence is made known. So I'm like, "Oh, what is it?" And I'm sobbing. I'm like saying sorry. I'm like, just now I'm just in conversation with God. I'm at work and I'm like, I don't know that I brought my mascara to work today. So we gotta suck these tears up because I'm not about to be out looking crazy. Whatever. And the Holy Spirit was like, you prayed for a stranger, I need you to pray for your family. That I'm pretty sure I prayed for my mom, my sisters. Not to complain that they were covered. My nephew were covered.
Not you
No.
have it. It's in your
I literally was like, what are you talking about? Like,
fine.
I did pray for them.
Yeah.
And he said, no, extended. This man, this God, had me go down. My mom is one of 12. You understand? So I was going through each aunt and uncle, all of their kids, their kid by name.
Remember when you said, remember you talking about numbers and you were like,
oh my, wow.
yeah.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And like by name, like literally, like they were tribes. 12. I'm going through them. Boom, 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 and I'm just sobbing, and I'm just like what? And but like this heaviness that I felt, I was like, there's something that needs to be broken. Yeah, nah, I don't know, I'm the one. And I like made that realization of like, is it me? Like, call somebody else.
What did I send you in a message?
Because then when I made that realization, I'm like, oh my God, is it me? When I made that realization, it felt like, not conceited, not it felt selfish, or like I don't want to make it about me. So and I was like, oh, I don't know that I'm the one. I don't think that I am. And it's like, okay, well, you are. So there's that, kid. I don't know what to tell you. But I like, it's crazy to me how like when I thought about my family, I only thought about my immediate family. And the Lord was like, girl, I put you in a big family. Y'all multiplying like whole rats. You got a big family. You got a lot of people to pray for. You got great cousins. Like, my family's huge. And I'm just like, okay, oh my God. But that like that weight and that sorrow that I felt, I was like, oh, there is something on my family. And I'm like, I didn't like how that feel. I need more people. We gotta get more people. Yeah. I need reinforcements, Lord.
I need people to help.
You know what I mean? Like
and
I was just like,
more not to be discipled now. More people go out and make.
Jeez, I was just like, what you guys? That's a lot. I was like,
but remember, I don't remember exactly what I said to you or messaged you, but it was like when I think you screenshotted it and you put it on the story.
You did. Yeah.
And I feel like, yes, it was about a particular situation, but I feel like, blow that up. It's broad. And it's like,
it encompasses many things.
Yeah. And it's just, sometimes we got to do things that I feel like was dope. There's a lot of things dope about God, but what's dope is like, he'll like show us a glimpse of things. And in that glimpse, that's when we will be like, that's so big. I don't know if it's me. Oh, we can't breathe.
Meanwhile, we're spazzing out over a portion and we want to know the whole picture. How, Sway?
And he's like,
I gave you the corner of the puzzle.
Because you've been asking for it so much.
Here you go. Here.
What do, Lord?
Now,
what do you want from me?
And then it's like, you lost your mind over a verse.
And then said, I don't want to do it anymore.
But you want the whole book?
So this is cute. I think it's cute to be like, I want to break all the curses in my family.
I'll never say that. I need to make it abundantly clear. I have never said that.
some people do. Like some people be claiming.
Some people want to be Captain Save a Human, Save a Child of God. I didn't think that was my ministry. I really did. I didn't sign up for it.
Yeah.
And normally those who don't sign up for it get thrusted into it, and you're just like,
yeah. I've been feeling that. A lot of us into things that I ain't raised my hand for.
And I was that student. Don't call my name. I didn't raise my hand. I'm so sorry. No, I didn't raise my hand. That's how it be. Can you tell us where we're on? I can't. That's why I didn't raise my hand.
But then be knowing exactly you're Aggie. You're that Aggie student. Absolutely. Literally, the teacher probably would tell your mom, I know that Nina knows these things, but she's just not
applying herself and she won't participate.
Me, I always got great student. Doesn't shut up. Yeah, that's facts. Certified yapper.
Man, listen, I've been a certified yapper. I got kicked out of class a lot.
I never got kicked out though.
I got kicked out of class and then had everybody that got kicked out of class with me start singing End of the Road in the hallway. No, time out. I got kicked out of class for singing it and then then I left the classroom. Then 4 other people got kicked out as well. So now a quartet. We are in the hallway singing End of the Road in high school. And I was like, all right, well, that game tonight, so I'm just gonna hang out in the locker room until the day's over. And I, for 2 periods, sat in the locker room. Anyways, I digress. Everything's fine. I've always been a leader, just sometimes not in the best way.
You know, once it's in you, it doesn't really. It changes teams.
It's all it did. You know, we're trying to refine it. That's it. That's it.
I like that. Like it a lot. But you know your point though. You were talking about earlier about how you said that I was a little bit further. Like, no, like I was not. Like, no.
The answer is no. We're both at a crossroads.
Yes, I think it's at
crossroads.
That was my
No, it's like, oh, look, a cross. Everything's fine. You see what I did?
Yeah. My high school my high school class was Crossroads. That was the name of our Crossroads. There's a Crossroads, Phoenix, and Omegas.
Yeah, we were HHS, Health and Human Services. We were separated by academies.
Anyways.
Sucks.
The Lee at the New Crossroads.
Oh, nah, it was a real awesome gang stuff. Like, when they separated the schools, because it was 6 different buildings. It looks like my high school looks like a college campus. It cost like $110 million to build. And it was like the gym, the gymnasium, the field, but like there was a bridge and then it was 6 different buildings. So it was like HLD, HHS, MST, BMF, INT, MST, or whatever. And like when pep rally hit and we were in uniform, so we had to wear khaki pants, my collared shirt was green. One academy was white, burgundy, brown, blue, gray, whatever. When we got into pep rally, if you went to the lunch you were supposed to be at, it was like, yo, what set you rep? Chill. Like, oh, he got on a purple shirt. He's in PFA. Oh, this dude. And then they said, you got clown. It ended up becoming like, it was dumb. It was so, I was like, I think this had the reverse effect that you guys thought it was going to have. Because not everybody's repping their academy like it's a name. I don't know.
So basically, what I'm finding is that my high school was a bunch of nerds. So,
bunch of delinquents in my high school. Yeah. Everything's nice. Moving on.
And I think, I think what I was going to say is I am at a crossroads, but I think, you're at a crossroads, but I think I've made my decision on which way to go. But I haven't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just starting the journey there because I think it was like a few days ago and I was at that point. I think I've always known myself as an empath, but
I took so much pride in not being an empath. Like, oh, you're crying while you're crying.
But see, I was also okay.
I was cool with sympathy. Being empathetic was where I struggled. But now I'm like, I can't, like, if I went to a random person's funeral, I'm gonna be crying. Why am I crying? I don't know. Everybody else is crying though. And I feel that.
I hate when somebody cries in front of me.
Oh, mom.
But that's what I think I've always been an empath.
They're there for
you. But see, I'm not a great comforter.
I'm not.
That's not my
I'm like, I can do the faces. Like, I look in pain with you.
Yeah.
But
Because if you ever did, if I ever,
My sister makes fun of me for that. Jerica literally makes fun of me for that. She's like, when someone is talking and you're into what they're saying, you make so many like you could tell. Like I was like, I make a lot of faces.
Like my face is here with me.
And no, literally, and I can't dart my gaze. So now I typically will like look away and like around, so I don't look weird. Like, yeah.
Ever did that to me?
You were like, girl.
Burst out laughing. Like, whatever I was sad about, no longer
Girl, fix your face.
Because what? But like, no, I don't think I'm the greatest. Like, my comfort is more just like, girl, you don't have to cry. Why are you crying? You're the best. You what?
Look at you. You is smart. You is beautiful. You is kind.
What?
No, if I like when I really love the person and they're hurting, then I'm like, oh wow. I will sit there and I will cry with you. You know, like when my sister was going through what she was going through, I was sobbing across the table from her. Cause I was like, oh wow. Like when my cousin had lost his grandmother and like I went to hug him and he started crying, I started crying with him. And it's like stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I could do that. But when it's like a child, what are you doing? Especially when it's something that like just I get it. It makes sense to you that you're upset about it. But like in the grand scheme of life, they're like levels. And I don't know that we're on the same level right now.
I'm not picking up what you're putting at.
So I don't understand, but I will be here for you.
Yeah.
Are you hungry? What do? Do I feed it? I don't know. What do I do?
Feed it is crazy.
Like what? Are you hungry? Let's go get something to eat. DoorDash or Uber Eats? Whoever doesn't have a delivery charge today. That's what we're gonna go with. That's how I make mine.
It's getting hungry. It's getting hungry.
Are you hungry? You want something sweet? You got your period coming? Okay, girl.
You want sweet?
Just some tampons? Okay. Right, love.
No,
I'm terrible. It's fine.
No, I feel that. I mean, like, yeah, I would say I think I've always considered myself an empath, but I think again, like recently, like, this came out of nowhere. This wasn't a thing that I was ruminating on. I wasn't like, oh, I should think about maybe or not. Like, do I hate sin? Like that wasn't a thing that I sat in the corner like.
Should I hate sin?
Like, yeah, it was not world domination vibes or any of that. I don't even remember what in the world it was. I don't even think I was angry. I don't know. I just was like, I think I put on some worship music and I was feeling as though like, and knowing that I need to be better at being, getting closer back to God. And I've been doing all the things because it's possible to be reading and praying, listen to emotional lamp. When you start to feel like, is he still like, I know he's there. He's always there. He's everywhere. But like, am I hearing him the way that I feel like I know I should be hearing him? I think a lot of us, like in my past, probably would have just been like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do to get, I'm doing all the things.
I don't know what to do now.
But now I'm like, how do I drop closer? And so as I was doing that and I'm praying or whatever, and I don't know, I just get on a track of just like, I hate sin.
Yeah.
So I just was like, I hate the fact. I think I just got finished talking to a family member and they were just talking about regular life. I don't even think they were talking about anything crazy. Not even anything that they were in pain about.
Yeah.
But the way that they were talking, and I could hear the pain behind it. Like the pain of rejection, the pain of anger.
Yeah.
And when you start to feel that,
Yeah.
it just like, you're like, dang.
Yeah.
Because in the past, I would have been like, well, in my head, maybe to their face too. I'd have probably been like, see, that's why because you chose that. And see, that's the reason why but like, it's you did this. But now I'm just like, sometimes people really, that they could know that they're doing something wrong. But they don't even know the gravity of the sin that they're doing. And it's hard to tell somebody about sin when they're not quite there yet. And so you can't even explain to them the whole, you can't do
Because
this.
if they're not ready to receive it, they're gonna receive it wrong.
Exactly.
And they're gonna be like, see, this is why y'all this, that, and then it becomes you Christians and say, whoa, I'm out. But them's just fighter words.
Well, I thought about that. But in that moment, I just was like, well, I hate sin.
Yeah.
Because it makes people like, that's the outcome of it. Broken people who are in bondage in their heads, in their minds, and in their hearts. And they can't see a way out. at all, and they don't even know to reach for God.
Yeah.
And I just was like that. I feel that because there are moments where sometimes, like, and I know, you know, and sometimes it could be so heavy, and it could be something. Man, 2 days later, you out of it, and you're like, I can't believe I
My
was
heart be hurt. People who like they want to know God. They might have some questions, but they're not sure yet because it doesn't look sexy. It doesn't look good, right? But then it's like
your life don't look sexy either.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so all the two. You want to say I'd rather do it with God than without, right? But I think where my heart hurts in terms of sin is when someone is asking questions and they're like inquisitive and they want to know more about God, but they don't see they're not understanding or seeing a correlation between their suffering and the choices that they're making. And I'm just like, how deep do you want to go in? I don't want to scare you away, but how deep do we want to go? And I think that's like where that's what I'm grappling with, because I'm just like, dang, you're almost you're so close, but sin feels like freedom. And I'm not quiet about the fact that, yo, this sucks. It sucks. Yeah. Like it does. Yeah. And I feel like I'm fighting a silent battle sometimes. And so that in itself gets difficult, because I'm like, how do I explain to someone it's nice on this side and
it's but like you already suffering. So I don't remember. Maybe I said it to you, but I forget who it was. It was a nice black lady who said it, and she was just like, people are always questioning whether, like, why be a Christian, why this and whatever. And she was like, she's like, look, if anything, if you don't believe in it and it's not true, then I'm a good person. But on the chance, that I am right, and that this word is right and true, baby, I don't want to be on the other side of just being like, I didn't want to put aside certain things, because most of the vices that we have, like, regardless of what you believe in, most of the vices that people have are because you're running away from a trauma, and you don't want to deal with it. Yeah, sorry, that's it. Like,
it's really what it is.
Running away from a trauma. I know it. I can say it because I've done it. I've done it. Sometimes I still do it.
Yeah.
And it's still a thing that God stays.
And it's uncomfortable.
And it's uncomfortable.
That's not fun on this side.
And then when it is fun, it's like, but you know what? At least, when I'm having a bad day, I get to go to the Word.
Yeah.
I get to pray about it. And then suddenly, I get up. Doesn't feel as heavy.
Yeah. Like, that's where I'm at right now. Like, recently, when I'm having like just a crappy day, I'm like, I just want to in my Word. I want to watch a sermon. I just want to go sit in the presence of God. And that's it. Like, I don't want to do nothing else. Don't talk to me. Don't nothing. Like, and I be feeling bad. My sister, whenever I get home, she just wants to talk, and I'm like, that's my mom. I don't got it. Yeah, I don't.
That's my mother.
And then she gets like offended, and I'm like, don't. But I also don't want. I don't want to explain. I just
won't get offended.
I just want to I will put on my Word. Just want to bask. List. That's it. I'll just like last night I literally sat in my bed, stare at the wall, and I was like, all right, God, like, even if you just sit next to me, that's it.
That's literally what happened on, I don't even know what days of the week. Who knows?
Days of the week. 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 I'm not gonna sing.
We did this before. I think it was like, I don't even know. It was like a few days ago, and I think this was the day I weeped. It's not everywhere. It was just like fanned out.
Yeah.
And I had like was listening to worship music, and I finished praying, and I'm just sitting in my bed. Thank you.
No, really.
Thank you, Lord. And I'm like in bed, and I like have my little JBL, and it's like playing worship music, and I just I didn't even call anybody. I texted bro and I was like, normally we say goodnight to each other. And I was like, look, the last voice I want to hear before bed is God's. I don't even want to take my ear gates.
Love you, mean it, bye.
Love you, mean it. Like that's how much I was like, yeah, I need like that was what I needed. I wasn't even sad. I wasn't even sad. I wasn't even mad. But like,
Okay, we're going to the exact same thing.
you're like, I wasn't even like, but I'm actually glad about that because I don't want to be the person who only runs to God just because I'm upset or because I need something.
And like, I literally wasn't like upset. I was just like, need a good cry, and I want to sit with my sky daddy while I do it, and then I want to go to sleep.
Did you?
And that's it. And I sure did, and I was asleep. Slept right through the night.
Yeah. Woke up like you would have thought my eyes would have been puffy.
Nope. Woke up perfectly fine. I said, let's get the day started. Lord. Right. Yo, Shark Tale was so underrated.
Oh, don't worry.
Nah, wait, oh my god. My favorite, and there's no reason. Like the same thing with the scene in Monsters Inc. that you got. When Bernie, they took him out into the middle of the ocean and they had Oscar tied up, whatever, and they were gonna zap him just to like torture him. And then Bernie pretended to zap himself. He's like, I wonder if pretended, and then he's like, Bernie, and then he was like, I kid. He's Bernie, you made the joke. Like, that scene lives rent free in my. I think that scene is so funny. I love that scene.
I love that. I love when you find movies. This is a total tangent. And I have like hair. Oh, there it is.
Yo, not even just realizing you got okay hair. I just processed. Okay, hair. You better go ahead.
No, it literally. You know what this was? What I literally. This week has been a week. It's been 2 weeks of just like insanity, like insane in the brain. That I just did not have the capacity to wash and do my hair because no, I love to do my hair, but like I just did not.
Wait, it's not a sew-in?
No.
What is it? Oh, I thought it was a sew-in. Okay.
Because normally I would just because I got my hair dyed and everything. And I was like, couldn't wait to show up. It really goes like, wait. But I did not have it in me.
Y'all won't have to wait to see.
I did not have it in me. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I was like, you know what? I'm either going to show up here. All right. Period. I live here.
That's it. I know you've been in Johnscape. That's it.
Actually, oh, yeah, it is. Well, yeah. But I don't know if I had anything else other than the fact that I think I was saying it before, reading Numbers 7, chapter 7. And when I was reading it, I've read it really fast, 85 verses. Read it. And not when I say fast, not really, but like
on my Bible app, I'm 2-point speed. Run it. I'm a fast listener.
Like I was reading it and had to bring it up into 2 different sessions in the same day. And the next day, I don't know what I was doing. But for some reason, I just felt this like, should I do a Bible study on number 7? And I tried to dismiss it so fast. No.
We were not that's getting. And then I was like, I already understand this.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's fine. And then all of a sudden it was like, I was like,
dang it.
Like now I gotta do a whole Bible study, which is fine because I was really intrigued by the fact that it's obviously both tribes. And we know that Judah was the tribe that was blessed to be the leader. We know that Reuben was one of the tribes that Reuben himself was the oldest, but he was never going to get any of the reapings of being the oldest.
Right.
All that jazz.
I Reuben.
And yeah. But through that, went in number 7, which is crazy to say, in Numbers chapter 7, because like number 7.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, in Numbers chapter 7, all of the tribes in the order of, I think it was in chapter 6 of the order of where they sit in tents and everything. All of them have to bring an equal amount of like the same thing.
Oh yeah.
For 12 days, basically, they each have to do an offering. But it's my mind just kept going back to the fact of like each tribe or each son technically got a different blessing or curse. which technically puts them not really on even ground, but kind of, right? Because they all technically got something from God through Jacob. But fast forward to them as tribes, they're all on equal playing like field. Like it's just like you come into this congregation, you come into unity, all equal because all have sinned. Yep. And all have to give thanks and worship the Lord equally, regardless of what your blessing is, regardless of your curse. And all I could think about is this is exactly why we are not supposed to judge. Like when you want to understand why there's a need for us to not judge folks when they do sin or if they don't sin or whatever, because one, we all sin. Yes, we're all sinners. Yeah. Remember there's that base. We're always constantly at the base, which makes us all equal. Just because somebody may do a sin on purpose doesn't mean that you've never sinned on accident. And so I just was in that, I think in the state of being like, I hate sin because of what it does to God. I hate sin because of what it does and how it makes people feel. I hate sin because of how it makes me feel. Yeah. It gives me a new perspective to see people are going to do things, and whether it's intentional or not, they're going to hurt people because that's how we're set up. Yeah. To do that. Yeah. And unfortunately, and that sucks, right? But the joy about all of this is that there's a great Redeemer who laid his whole life down for us, who gives us a new hope. And in the renewing of our lives and of our walks, through choosing our Lord and Savior, it gives us a new sense of like, if you try and I try, we may always be at this base, but at least we're not adding. You know what I mean? Like,
At least we're not adding.
and if we did add, we now know how to rectify that.
Ooh, and repent.
Yep. So that we can get back and move to the next.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't know. Oh yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got. I'm gonna do the best with what I got. Oh, eyelash in my eye.
Oh no. I want to say you know what? Like the people on live, like the phone is so far away that like I can see y'all, but I can't see y'all. But
So like you see like the little bubbles.
I see I see little bubbles. But I'm just trying to see these. Like y'all should say something because not knowing that I can or can't see, but let's see.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I think that in that, I mean, I think that we've given a lot to chew on. And if you're feeling that conviction and you're feeling like, God's asking you to turn from something, then I would say lean into that, because ultimately that might be the sin that you need to let go of because it's blocking the blessing that's on the other side of it. So, shall we go? With that being said, mi gente, I'm Nina Montañez.
Now follow WJ.
We